What's up? What's happening? Back at you with another video. Want to stimulate some thought, so here we go. I'm going to probably get a lot of controversy behind this video. I'm pretty sure, but you know me, not scared of controversy at all. So it is what it is. You know, these are my views, my opinions. Not saying they're the absolute truth. Just my take on things and reality in life. This video is about why men like to go to strip clubs. Why do men like to go to strip clubs? Know a lot of women out there, those of you that may be married, some of you that may be engaged and about to get married, and you hear about men during their bachelor parties, right before they tie the knot forever, they want to hire a stripper to come over and strip for them, because they feel like this is going to be the last time that they're going to be able to have interactions like this, because now they're locked into a marriage and they won't be able to experience this anymore. Then you have men that basically go to strip clubs as an outlet. You know what I'm saying? They may already be married. They may not be fulfilled with what's going on at home with their spouse. So they decide they want to go to a strip club. And then you got another level in a class of men that go to strip clubs because they got a whole bunch of fiat notes, or what you guys call money. They got a shitload of money. These are like your big rappers and things like that. And they want to go to the strip club, and they call this paying their taxes. And they go out and they throw money, you know what I'm saying? And they do this, not even just your rappers, your rock and roll, rock stars do this. I mean, just basically, you're single and wild people. They're not married or anything. They just want to go to the strip club. They got plenty of money, and they want to basically tip the strippers off. Now, my experiences from strip clubs, or my take on it, I should say. My take on it is this. There's different levels to it. Let's start with the man that's about to get married. Because I gave you 3 examples, and we're going to cover those 3 examples on why these guys are doing these things. So these are pretty much, most guys that are doing these things fit into those 3 categories I just named. So let me explain to you why the man that is about to get married wants to go to a strip club for his bachelor party. Or he wants to go to have a stripper come to his home or wherever his bachelor party is. Why do men do this? Well, it's like this. In the West, the way that society is taught, and I mean the West and probably even in other countries as well, because most of us have been westernized now. In society, they teach that once you get married, of course, you are obligated to this woman, and you won't be able to do the things that you used to do, because now you have to be at home at a certain time. Your life is pretty much over. Marriage is looked at as basically like you're dead. This is how a lot of men look at it, like you're dead, pretty much. Life is over. You can't be the man that you used to be when you were single, so you better do everything that you want to do now, because once you tie the knot, that's it. You're dead. You gotta be with this woman, and that's it. Now you can watch my video on marriage or whatever, and to help you to understand a few things about my views on marriage. But I do have videos on marriage, but that's pretty much a Christianized, not even just a Christianized, but what they call a in the streets, we would call that a square way of looking at marriage. This is how squares. A square is, for those that you don't know, a square is basically a man that pretty much is controlled by a woman. That's a square. And that's basically like when a square gets married, that's basically like he's dead, because now he's up under the jurisdiction and control of another being. And this is taught and accepted in society, though. So it's like it's hard for me to really teach about this, because in society they accept this type of information, and this is like the way it's supposed to be. Like, and then many women out there are like, nah, this is BS. Basically, you're saying that a square is a man that's not going to cheat on his woman. I didn't say nothing about cheating. Just because you're not a square doesn't mean you're a cheater. I'm not talking about that, but I'll cover that too. What I'm talking about is basically a male that gets into this relationship or gets into this marriage. Some men even do it once they get into a relationship with a woman. They become a square, and they stop doing the things that they used to do to attract women, because now they feel like their life is over because they're with this one woman and that's just it. So they feel like their life is over. And in reality, and women know this deep down inside, whether you guys want to admit it or not, no woman is attracted to a square. No woman is attracted to a square. Women are attracted to men that have self-esteem, confidence about themselves, have a air of mystery about themselves, intriguing, has a good conversation, pretty much feels comfortable, makes you feel comfortable speaking to them, makes a woman feel comfortable. These are the type of men that women are attracted to. They're not attracted to men that are fear having conversations with women, things of that nature, the man that basically gives up on basically his manhood and what makes him a man. Women are attracted to men, and this is what makes man. Man is like, a real man is one that is in control of his life. Now, I'm not saying that you have to control your woman to be a real man. I'm speaking of what a real man does. A real man is in control of his life, and he doesn't let outside entities tell him what to do. He controls his own life. But in this society, see, what happened was Christianity did a good job of, through the story of Adam and Eve, did a good job of basically making a man feel like he is, once he gets married to this woman, they say it in the Bible, he's to cleave unto his wife. That's what they say. A man leaves his home and now he gets married and he is to cleave unto his wife. And like I said, there's different degrees of information, and while that makes sense on a certain level, but many of you don't really know exactly what that meant as far as the translation. Like, many people are interpreting the cleave unto his wife aspect of the Bible to mean basically a man is to cling onto his woman and to be up under his woman. And now he's up under the jurisdiction of his woman, but really cleave unto his wife meant that once he got married, see, this is what the original meaning meant. See, people don't read the Bible in their original languages. That's why you need to read it. Eve, in the original Hebrew translation, her name was Nikebah. And Nikebah means tribal leader. It means tribal leader. So actually, when a man got married, he joined that woman's tribe. That's what it really meant. So when they said he cleaved unto his wife, it meant that he joined that woman's tribe. Meaning that, see, in this society, it's so flipped and so backwards, because like the man gives out his name and the woman takes on the man's name. You know what I'm saying? But then the man becomes a square and he goes up under and sits up under the woman, but then he appears as though he's the leader or whatever. When really it's all backwards. In reality, based on mitochondria DNA, and basically what mitochondria DNA is DNA that's not altered or tampered with through sexual intercourse and is passed on from mother to child. This DNA, unlike nuclear DNA, which is passed on from father to child, nuclear DNA cannot be traced back past a certain amount of generations, whereas mitochondrial DNA can be traced back over 200,000 to 300,000 years. And this is something that they discovered in the 80s. Scientists discovered this in the 80s. I think at Emory University, they discovered mitochondrial DNA, and they found out that the woman has this cell, this DNA cell, that cannot be altered or tampered with within her genetics. But the ancients knew about this cell called mitochondrial DNA, and this is why they looked at the woman as the tribal leader. It was based on the bloodline, because the bloodline would always be traced back through the woman, not through the man. Yeah, the man's name may have still been used as the title, but as far as whose tribe you were with, when you married to a woman, you joined her tribe, her clan. The women were the tribal leaders. This is what Nikebah. See, Eve's name is not Eve, it was Nikebah. So you guys don't read the scriptures in their original languages. Now, why is this important when it comes to males and strip clubs? And I know you're totally on point. Nah, everything works together or whatever. Everything works together. So the whole Adam thing, that's where it came from as far as the passive male. That's what I call it too. It's another way. If you don't want to say square, the passive male came in from the whole Adam cleaving unto his wife thing. That's where it came from, actually, originally. It came through religion, just like everything else. So when you deal with the gods, like Shiva and Asardu, and the gods, they had like more than one woman. They had like women around them. Shiva, he had like multiple women. He was a sex deity. You know what I'm saying? Had multiple women. These were the type of males that existed before religion. See, this is what they don't want to tell you. So what they did was they pacified the male, and this was a way to conquer humans, though. This is what the Luciferians did. They taught this to conquer humans, basically by pacifying the male, because it was important to pacify the male, because the male was always the protection. See, women want to be with a man that they feel are protected. And even on intellectual protection, it doesn't always have to be big muscles, even though that's a part of it too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women are attracted to big men with big muscles because they feel like they're protected. A lot of women are attracted to thugs and guys that carry around pistols and knives and shit like that because they feel like basically this man protects them and they feel protection around him. They know nothing's going to happen. So the male was always the protector, even back then. But see, what happened is now is that, yeah, the man's still the protector now, but at the end of the day, the woman controls the male. And that's why the mentality of getting married, this is what happens. Now, I'm not saying all women want to do this. It's more of a mentality. This is what happened based on the Matrix. And I'm not saying that this is what women wanted to do. This is what actually the powers that be taught you guys, humans, to live and exist like. But deep down inside, the woman knows that she's not attracted to a man like this. So that's why men go to strip clubs and hire strippers when they're about to get married, is because they feel like they're going to die, because these are passive males. And they feel like they're going to die, basically. And that goes into the second example I gave you, was the man that goes to the strip club after he's married. Because now he's frustrated. He's tired of being a passive male. He's tired of being ran over and coming home every day and being predictable. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to go out to the strip club and have me a few drinks because I'm tired of this. Like, I'm tired of basically being this passive male. Now, there's another level to it, too. I'm going to tell you that level. Something that is just beyond the passive level. Something beyond the passive male, I'm sorry. But this is something that women do that a lot of times, or women are taught, I should say, that cause a lot of men to go to strip clubs. Or this is not really cause them, because nobody can cause you to do anything, but this is why men react and go to strip clubs based on something that women do. But let's get back to the point. So yeah, you got the passive male. I mean, he's rebelling now. So he's like, I'm going to the strip club, damn it. I'm going to do this. And that's why a lot of men even get into affairs. That's the next level. Usually you go to the strip club, you're going to start hiring prostitutes. It's a chain reaction. You're going to get into affairs. You're going to do all of that stuff. You're going to do all of that stuff because you're really frustrated. See, everything that you do as far as actions are something that you're not happy with inside yourself. And usually when men cheat, it's because they want to feel like a man again. That's why they cheat. It's really, to be honest with you, naturally, it's not really natural for, if you're really a man and you're secure in yourself, it's not natural for a man to cheat. And this is something that I've grown to learn, like, you know what I'm saying, as I mature, like, definitely, like, I mean, in my relationships, I'm not going to cheat. In my relationship, I'm not going to cheat because I'm secure in myself as being a man. So I'm not going to cheat. Cheating is something for men that don't feel secure in their situations, so they go out and cheat. And this is why men do it. Like, men don't want to admit this, but it's like you getting your manhood back. So you like, I'm going to go out here and cheat. I'm going to go out here and have a few beers. And first I'm going to go to the strip club. Then you meet somebody. Then eventually they end up cheating because they're not happy. They're not happy. Now, the single man that goes to the strip club, a lot of times this is still like, you know, this is basically like feeding into a lot of men that don't really know how to attract a woman outside of money. So they like, oh, I got big money. You know what I'm saying? They want to go to the strip club and show off. Like, I got big money. And they want to, these beautiful women are walking around the strip club, so they want to show off their money. And they think that money is going to pull women. See, some men out there think money is the only thing that's going to get these women or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's deeper than money. Like, see, and women know this. If you know how to talk to a woman, and you have something to really talk about to a woman, you're interesting, and you know how to make her feel good, and you know what I'm saying, you know how to have a good conversation with a woman, you don't need a lot of money to get a woman. This is something in society that they've confused you with too, making you think. Now, I'm not saying a woman doesn't want security. I'm not saying that. A woman does definitely want security. That's something that will definitely be looked at. But men in this society, this still goes back to the passive male. Even when you're single, you're playing the passive role. Because you're using your money to get women. Like, I'm using my money. I got money. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm going to attract women through that. Or I got this big chain I got on my neck. This is how I'm going to attract women. This is what they teach you even in these rap songs and stuff like that. They're not really teaching you real life skills to get a woman. Like, they're not teaching you skills. And this was something that in the mystery schools, everything I'm talking about, this was covered in the mystery schools. Men were thoroughly taught how to attract women, how to appeal to women, how to appease women, and how to make a woman feel good. This was something that was generally taught before religion came in. So this is something that a lot of people have lost and forgotten. So that's why I decided to kind of like do this video or whatever, because like I said, I'm going to be covering more mundane topics too as well. Because like we have to get it all together, like as far as with this shift or whatever, we got to get our families together in the matrix. We got to like get it all together. Survival skills have to be taught too. Like many people get into metaphysics, but they're still having problems on a mundane level. Like, yeah, you might know all of this stuff about all of these different occults, astrological signs, you know, all this stuff about alchemy and aliens and all this type of stuff, but then you don't know how to deal with a woman. You don't know how to be a father to your child. This is stuff that men need to learn. You don't know the role that the father played in the child's life. Like men aren't taught this anymore because a lot of it is because not even just from not having fathers. It's deeper than that. Even the men that have fathers, they see their fathers getting like they were like passive males or squares. And they really, basically, their whole example of what a man is, they looking at their father and they're like, well, that's what my father did. But your father was probably a passive male and square too, because he didn't go to the mystery schools. See, really, if you didn't go to the mystery schools, and the Masons even teach this, you're pretty much a boy. You don't become a man until you go and get initiated into the mystery school. This is why it's this saying that goes in some of the secret societies that say, make all men and boys join. See, all men and boys need to join and get into the mystery school because really, you were a boy mentally until you joined the mystery school and mastered the teachings in the mystery schools and became an ADAP, and then you became a man. Then you became a man, and you really, especially in African culture, you weren't really considered a man until you could successfully have a family and run a family and successfully do that. You weren't considered a man, so all of this stuff, I know I brought up about men having more than one wife and stuff like that. All of this stuff about men having more than one wife, it's cool, but I mean, it's not going to work for you either because you don't even know how to do it with a woman, so that doesn't really work. That's not going to work. Yeah, you can do it. It's in your DNA to have more than one woman, but it doesn't mean it's going to successfully work for you because these gods that were doing it, like Heru and Osiris and Shiva and all of them, these gods were like initiates in the mystery schools, so that's what made them become gods. This is why they were called gods, because they were adepts and masters in the mystery schools. So yeah, I mean, so as far as like the males, back to the point again, throwing money on the strip clubs and all of that, they're just using their money to attract women or whatever, and this is why they go to the strip club. Sometimes they call it paying their taxes and all this type of stuff, but it's more of a culture than something that's taught. So that's the three reasons why, the three different types of men, why they're going to strip clubs. Now let me go into another reason why men are going to strip clubs, and this is going to be interesting. And this is for the women that definitely like to dance and have that physique and could be a stripper, and they're actually condemned and called whores, and this is why they turn to the strip club, because there's two sides to it. Why do the women go to strip clubs and become dancers? Why are they doing it? And this was something that back in the days called tantric dancing, that women would, you know what I'm saying, in African culture and in South Indian culture it took place, and probably in other cultures, but I mainly studied it from the West African culture and the South Indian culture, something called tantric dancing, where the woman would dance for the male. She would dance for the male prior to the sexual ritual. Even animals, certain animals do this. But sometimes really actually in the animal kingdom, believe it or not, because the men would do it too. The men would even dance for the women a lot of times. So don't get it twisted. The men would dance for the women before the mating ritual. And you see certain animals that do this. Certain male animals, they dance for the woman, and they got to have a competition, and whatever male, I guess, the woman likes, based on him being able to dance and do his thing, she would choose that woman. She would choose that male, or that, if it was in a species, the animal kingdom, she would choose the male species in that animal kingdom or whatever. So there are certain animal species that do this too, but even and females would do it too. It's called tantric dancing. So she would dance for the male, you know what I'm saying, to get the male aroused. It was like an erotic type of thing or whatever, and this would help the kundalini rise, which was supposed to make the sexual experience better. This aligns you guys. The tantric dancing puts you into a trance or whatever, so that when you initiated and engaged into the sexual magic ritual, you would your energies would be aligned, and you would be totally wrapped up and mesmerized by this woman. And this is where you hear a lot of rappers say they want a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. That's where they get it from. They get it from the tantric dancing, because this was actually something that even wives would do for their husbands or whatever prior to the sexual mating ritual, because sex is very much a ritual, and that's why that's where another thing you guys are all wrong on, is that you're looking at sex just like a lower chakra, get a nut off, get an orgasm off, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever type of scenario, when it was like way more to it. It was a ritual based on energy and raising the energy. And those of you that have not studied the sexual arts, the Karma Sutra, and things like that, you don't really know about this type of stuff. But that's what so that's really where the whole stripping thing really came from, the tantric dance. Like, that's what the strippers are doing. They're doing the tantric dance to arouse the male. So I suggest, you know what I'm saying, for one thing, if you really don't want your man going to the strip club, that you learn how to do that. Get over the religion thing, get over you're too good, because even people that are in metaphysics, a lot of women and men, you're too good to dance for your man, you're too good to dance for your woman, you're too good to do certain things that a woman might want to see, You too good to, you know what I'm saying, spank her or something like that. You too good to do those things because you feel like, oh, that's religious, that's bad, and that's, you know what I'm saying, this is all, you feel guilty anyway. Sex is based on guilt, so you don't make it interesting anymore. You don't make it, and this is why women cheat too, for the same reasons. So, I mean, everything that I'm saying, I'm sure women can experience and relate to what I'm saying too on their levels, because there's women that cheat on their husbands because of lack of action and being bored, and they want that. And that's why a lot of older women go out and get that younger man, because they want that young man that's, you know, exciting. He's not scared to do the things that you are scared to do because you're religious, and it's out of your character to do it. Because, you know, you wear a suit to work every day and you're pious now, and I'm just supposed to do those things. Or, you know, you're a woman, you go to work every day and you're deep in the corporate world and you're like, I'm not dancing for you. What do I look like? I'm just going to lay on my back and you're going to get on top of me and we're going to have sex. And that's it. And then after that, you have your little orgasm and get off me. And it's like a chore for you guys, you know what I'm saying? And then you wonder why your man's going out here doing this stuff, but you don't want to study the Karma Sutra and make it interesting anymore. But actually, originally, the tantric dance was very key in stimulating sexuality and helping the Kundalini to raise even before the actual act of sex took place. It was kind of like you may call it foreplay or whatever. All of your foreplay and all of that stuff will go back to stimulation before the sexual act. And that's another thing. A lot of men don't even do foreplay anymore. Like, you don't do these things. You wonder why the woman wants to cheat too, because a woman, see, her sexuality is not like your sexuality. And I've covered this in other videos. I mean, she has an alternating sexuality. So you have to foreplay and get her stimulated. She has to feel encouraged. Her sexuality is based on encouragement. You know what I'm saying? Your sexuality is based on like a fire, more so like a flame and like a drive. It's like a sex drive for you. It's like a force. So the man has to encourage the woman. She has to feel encouraged. You know what I'm saying? And her sexual energy comes from up here. Your sexual energy comes from below up as a male. So she has to feel encouraged. It starts up here in her head. For you, it starts below your navel. So the sexual experience, yeah. See, it's like you need to know a woman's body and women need to know a male's body so that you guys can be happier with each other, so that we can have better unions when the shift takes place, because we have to breed a new generation of people that are, of children, I should say, that are totally in line with nature and that are dealing with nature again and not dealing with this matrix and the things that they teach in this matrix. Because if we want to change the way things are going on, really, the science of mating is the most revolutionary science, well, one of them, when it comes to changing our reality. Business too, but I'm covering mating here. So this is all about the science of mating, and this is why men and women are going to strip clubs and things of that nature. So not going to talk to you guys to death too long. Thank you for watching this video, and until we meet again, I'll leave you in peace.